I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Protector or monster? Could Jarvis Butts had been trying to protect Naziah Harris from Shannon and Annette? Salute to the replay gang. Salute to all of my moderators. Salute to the chat. Salute to you, him, and her. Salute everybody. Salute Brother Naziah. Salute. As sick as this case is, it has a lot of twists and turns. And one thing that I do allow over here, I allow the possibilities. I allow certain things to be left on the table or taken off the table. Now, when those of us that know the case, when Jarvis's name come up, automatic, we don't find nothing good to say about Jarvis or nothing good to say about whatever sentence his name is in. However, one of my subscribers raised the question: could Jarvis been protecting Naziah that night from Shannon and Annette? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Salute Lucky. Salute Pee-wee. Drop a 1 before we even get started with this demonstration. Drop a 1. If a possibility that Jarvis could have been protecting Naziah that night from Shannon and Annette. Salute Miss Parker. Salute Miss Parker. And can I get everybody to throw up some prayer hands for 3 of my Rock Squad members? They are dealing with some health issues. So can I get everybody to throw up some prayer hands for Nikki Lynn, Coffee Girl, and 80s Babies? And if you all are watching, we are sending prayers y'all way. Throw some prayer hands up for Nikki Lynn, Coffee Girl, and 80s Baby. We praying for y'all. Lucky says, we don't know the events that happened that night to say who did what. And that's a good point, Lucky. That's a good point. That's a good point. Pee-wee says, I don't believe. Salute, Sean. Salute, Natalie. Now, what we do have, because Lucky Lady, she raises an excellent point. She says, we don't know the events that happened that night to say who did what. Let's focus on what we do have. Let's focus on what we do have. We have the testimony of the lead investigator in the Naziah Harris case. We have her testimony. And her testimony comes from the text messages, right? Now, if she got text messages from Jarvis and Naziah, let's go to the text messages and let's see if we could come to some kind of conclusions just dealing with the text messages. And in my opinion, I do believe that the text messages definitely portrays Jarvis as a monster. If you and because the text messages is so graphic, I'm going to play some of them, but I can't play all of them because that's just how graphic the text messages is. Salute Desperate Sacrifices. Salute. Salute Mocha. Salute Chen. Salute Sharon. Appreciate you all for pulling up. Now, when you listen to the text messages, when she read them, he's definitely a monster. I'm going to say that before we even go any further. In my opinion, he's definitely a monster. But are we missing something? Are we missing something? Could it be that Jarvis was her protector? Could it have started out? Could it have started out as Jarvis protecting Naziah? Salute Jamie. Salute Jamie. Where at in these text messages, Shank Rock, can you point out that Jarvis was some kind of protector of Naziah? Well, in the text messages, she was asking him for pads. Nah, Shank Rock, that ain't good enough. But just think, and there's more. There's more. A little girl, 11, 12, 13 years of age, skips over her aunts, Marquita and Shannon, skips over her nana, Miss Annette, and goes to Jarvis. Just stay right there with me. Stay right there with me. Salute Top Flight. Salute Top Flight. Appreciate you being a new member, Mocha. Appreciate you being a new member, Mocha. Salute, I see through you. Salute, salute, Coke Tan. Salute to my chat. My chat is deep already. Now, what would make her go to Jarvis about some pads? Lucky says, what we can say is Jarvis did a lot of sexual assault, but M doesn't appear to be his MO. On the other hand, Shannon online telling people she can make them come up missing. Stay where I'm at, Lucky. Stay where I'm at. All right. We already focused on the monster part. All right. We already focused in on the monster part. He's a monster. You can't get around that. Chen says, asking a boy for pads is something. Salute, Lady V. Salute, Lady V. We know he's a monster. I'm not going to dispute that. But let's look at the other things that's in the text messages that many of us may be skipping over. All right? I want to make sure we don't leave no stones unturned. I want to make sure we bring everything on the table, and then once we bring it on the table, then we can decide whether or not we could take it off the table. We know he's a monster, so that stays on the table because it's been proven that he's a monster. Now it's up to us to prove whether or not he's a protector. Some of my subscribers have pointed this out. Salute, Lisa. Salute, Lisa. And I will be dropping the link. Just give me a few more minutes. I will be dropping the link. And if it's anybody that has been sexually assaulted, if it's anybody that is a domestic violence survivor, if it's anybody that just needs to come up and vent, if it's anybody that needs to come up and tell their story, when I drop the link, the StreamYard link, feel free to come on up and tell your story. Lady V says, I don't see him as a killer unless it was accidental or forced by Shannon, in my opinion. How have you been? Okay. His thick ass is not no protector. Okay, Pee Wee. Okay. So salute Nisha. Salute Nisha. And I'll get back to the chat, y'all. Let me get into this. I see you, Pee Wee. Pee Wee says shank his funky ass is not a protector. All right, all right. And make sure y'all throw up some prayer hands for Nikki Lynn, Coffee Girl, and 80s Baby. They're dealing with some health issues. Once again, we're praying for you, ladies. All right. Why is she going to Jarvis for pads? Right? Also in those text messages, she indicates to Jarvis about getting out of that hellhole. How many of y'all caught that? How many of y'all remember in the text messages, she make reference to getting out of that, I think it's the S hole, the ish hole. One way or another, she does indicate that, and not in these words, she does indicate some form of misery with living there, right? Also in the text messages that the lead investigator reads out, we can see definitely the jealousy and envy that Shannon had for Naziah, because Shannon and Jarvis is talking, and Naziah. I'm sorry, let me slow down. Naziah and Jarvis is talking, and Naziah mentions that Shannon is going to come up the steps or going to come upstairs. And Naziah gives them that, okay, you're going to give them some. You're going to give her some. You know she wants some. Go ahead and give her some. Jarvis is like, I don't want to. Right? Now, many of you all, including myself, I think 9 out of 10 of us believes that Shannon is the one that took Naziah's life. And many of us believe that Jarvis is covering for Shannon. Drop a one if you feel like Shannon took Naziah's life and Jarvis is covering for her. Drop a 2 if you think Shannon didn't have nothing to do with it. Jarvis took Naziah's life on his own. Also, in the state of Ohio, I believe it's Toledo, Ohio, they found 3 bodies. 3 bodies in Toledo, Ohio. For more on the 3 deceased bodies that they found, along with the break-in story of Kimani, check out Miss Parker. Y'all go ahead and pull up on Miss Parker. I think Miss Parker will be going live later on this evening. Could one of those deceased bodies that was found out there in Toledo, Ohio, could it been the body of Naziah Harris? PB says, Shank, Jarvis was manipulating her to the fullest. Who else to go to except you're manipulated as manipulate you to believe that they can help? That's a good point. Salute, Brother Nazir. That's a good point, P. Lucky says, not saying it's right, but some parents make their kids save up to buy personal items with the little allowance or money they make. Maybe they wouldn't buy her pads. And she even salute caller. She even made reference to not being able to use Miss Annette's because Miss Annette's pads was too big. Naziah was as sick of Shannon as Shannon was of her. And I'm gonna get to some of the text messages. Like I said, I'm not gonna be able to play them all. If I come up on one of them that's graphic. I'm going to have to shut it down because in those text messages, they're using the D word, they're using the P word. I mean, the text message is very graphic. Lucky says they both did it. Salute, Petty Queen. Salute. Salute, y'all. Salute. I see through you says, Shank, Jarvis was a serial manipulator. Chen says, I'm surprised those heifers didn't have pads for themselves. What was Annette doing with the money for those kids? Exactly. Now, if Miss Annette, which she was, if she was getting a check, it's no reason why Naziah had to go to Jarvis. And I know, but Shank, what if Miss Annette was giving her the money to go buy the pads? And let's keep it 100. And I need all my big mamas to step up. I need all my big mamas to come up to the front. Lady V says, in my opinion, out of all the relationships Jarvis had, none of them that I am aware of accuse him of violence. Salute Mel. Salute Alicia. Capricorn Chronicles. Salute Gail. The chat is deep, y'all. So I'm gonna have to. I seen one comment that I didn't want to skip over. Salute adjust my queen. Salute adjusted my crown. Salute, y'all. Let me come back to the chat, y'all. All right, because the chat jumping. But I need all my big mamas to step up. Now, at 11, 12, 13 years old, personal needs for a 11, 12, or 13-year-old, personal needs, Big Mama is going to buy them. Big Mama is going to make sure that 11, 12, 13-year-old got those sanitary napkins, maxi pads. Salute, Lori. You have to watch your household when you got little girls in the house and the grandmother didn't. Facts. Capricorn says the pads should have already been in the house for her. I'm sure you receive money for her. She shouldn't need accessories. Facts. And that's where I'm going at with it. That's where I'm going at with it. We got to remember, she's not a teenager now. 16-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl. All right, 15, 16, definitely 17-year-old. They should be, you know what I'm saying, going to the store, getting their own personal needs, the cosmetics. However, we got to keep in mind, Naziah was 11, 12, 13 years old. Those items should have been provided to her by Miss Annette. She shouldn't have to go to Jarvis. So it seems like somewhere, she was dependent on Jarvis. My opinion, that's how he was able to manipulate her. My opinion, that's how he was able to take advantage. One thing about these monsters wait for the opportunity to move in. They wait for these type of opportunities. What better way for a monster to move in on a defenseless, helpless child? Oh, you say what? You need what? Oh, I got you. In my days of playing women, that's what I looked for. Now, I wasn't playing women on no abusive stuff. I was just playing the women, on sexual relations. Women, no children, no kids. But that's what I look for. And the majority of the men, especially the dope boys, all the dope boys can relate to that. Oh, I got you. Don't even worry about it. I got you. But we focusing in on Jarvis now. Jarvis waited for that opportunity. How did Jarvis begin to manipulate this little girl? The proof is in the pudding right there. Annette left this little girl wide open. When Annette refused, when Annette chose not to love this little girl, and I still stand by what I say as far as Annette allegedly being molested at 11 years old. Annette grew up with the mind frame. Nobody came to my rescue when I was a little girl. Nobody helped me when I was a little girl. And that's the beginning of everything that's going on with Annette. Nobody helped Annette. But let's listen to some of these text messages, because as I said before, he's definitely a monster. But let's listen. Did he start out as her protector?
2:14 a.m. She sends to him, "What about you?" The next message she sends to him immediately after, "Sometimes I be wanting to live with you."
Stop right there. Sometimes now, I be wanting to live with you. What was it that was going on in that household that would make her sometimes, out of her own mouth, the text messages, sometimes I be wanting to live with you? My opinion, I could be wrong. My opinion, Jarvis started out as her protector. That's how he started out. He started out protecting her. Come on up the shop. Come on up the shop. Giving her $20 to clean up around the shop. Right? 11, 12 years old, 13 years old. $20 is a whole lot of money for 11, 12, 13-year-old. Starting out, he was her protector. And that's how he was able to manipulate her. He just ain't come straight at Naziah for sexual relations. That's not how it started. That's not how it started. It started out as him protecting her. So we just hear in that message, sometimes I be wanting to just come and live with you.
$2:16 a.m. She sends to him, "You know what I mean?" 2:18 a.m. She sends, "What time I'm ready?" 2:23 a.m. She sends to Mr. Butts' phone number, "We not doing it or what?" 2:23 a.m. Naziah sends to Mr. Butts, "I really want you."
Now we see that it's definitely sexual. It's definitely sexual.
This is still on the same day, September 27th, 2022. This is now 2:23 a.m. UTC time. Mr. Butts replies to Naziah, "Yes." 2:24 a.m. Naziah sends, "Pull your car down the street and come back. I'll be waiting." 2:25 a.m. Jarvis's phone replies back to her, "Come ride with me and Nye, N-I-Y." 2:25 a.m. She replies, "Did they say I can come?" At 2:30 UTC, she sends him a message that says, "I'm sorry, but love you." 2:30 UTC, he immediately replies back, "Come on." 2:31, Naziah replies, "I can't, I'm going to get in trouble." The next.
So at 2:30 in the morning, because she asks, no, now it's not saying who she asks, but at 2:20, 2:30 a.m. in the morning, she asks, could she go with Jarvis? 11, 12, 13-year-old girl asking, can she go with this grown man? Of course, whoever it was that she asked said no.
Next message is at 2:35. She sends, when you come back, drop Nye off, pull your car down the street, and I'll come in the base. I'll be waiting.
Now, let me drop the link, y'all. Let me drop the link because I do allow those that have a story to tell, because this is a very, very touching case. So if you would like to come up and vent, if you would like to come up and tell us your story, feel free to click that StreamYard link and come up on the panel.
It's not a hobby. It's your empire.
Once again, if anyone would like to join me on the panel, feel free. Salute, Miss Parker.
Hey, salute, Shane. Salute. I wanted to touch on not so much of a story, but I wanted to touch on your feelings about, was Jarvis a protector or did which one was it? Was Jarvis a protector, or I want to get it right?
Protector or monster?
Monster. Because Jarvis just had a fetish period altogether. Which would not just her, all kind of kids, all ages, didn't matter. Imagine being at a birthday party, shanking out of the blue. He just a random child, not a child he knows or comfortable with, and he's touching. That's just monstrous. Like, he didn't even care if the kids went back and told. That's how sick he was. And I said I've never dealt with a monster under this capacity. You get what I'm saying? Like, not all kids, Shank. Some kids, but not strangers' kids, not just random kids and stuff like that. But it was just in him. But at the same time, I said, dang, now I want to go down his background. Because to be this, or was he inflicting pain of what happened to him, what was allowed? Because now I'm feeling like it was allowed to happen to him in so many different ways.
Let me just slide in, Miss Parker. Appreciate you for subbing to the channel, Black and Missing Children.
Hey, Black.
Can I get everybody to give Black and Missing Children a warm welcome? She's new to the channel. Can I get everybody to give Black and Missing Children a warm welcome? Come on back in, Miss Parker, and then Pee Wee, you come in after Miss Parker finish.
Black also has a channel too, Shank. She's a content creator as well.
Okay,
So
shout out to Black and Missing Children. I guess, Miss Parker, when you go down there, you could drop a link, or Top Flight or any other moderators that's down there that knows how to drop links. Please drop Black and Missing Children.
definitely monster. Never protector. He only did what a sick, somebody sick would do. This ain't no protecting a child, is when a father is really protecting his child from people like him. That's protecting. Not because even if you go back, Shank, to King's preliminary, and when he said Jarvis had the audacity to get mad at him while he was locked up because it was an older man and his daughter was in the 20s. Is that not sick? Does that not show you the mentality of a monster to get, not that you touch kids? So the audacity of you to get mad because somebody and your daughter's, she's of age, and that made you mad. The predatory thoughts is beyond me. I just can't. Hey, Pee Wee, salute.
Hey, Miss Parker. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute, Shank. Shank, I don't Cause yo, it's just flabbergasting. And I understand your question, I understand your curiosity, right? But the thing about it is what I understand is let's talk about the process of getting them to even believe that he's a protector. And then let's talk about the process of his sickness and the manipulation. Because we gotta think about the manipulation. Because first, it's even us as grown people. Now we know how to be ourselves, right? But you're talking about a 13-year-old, right? First, first we would have to do what? Become acquainted with them, get them to like us. As adults, when we go out just being ourselves, we are liked today because we have courtesy, respect. But imagine giving that to a 13-year-old that don't know how to handle that kind or be that's he's using this person or his skills or his sickness to manipulate her into trusting him. So now he done manipulated her into trusting him, right? So the manipulation goes deep because by this time I'm quite sure, according to the text message, they are already sexually active, right? So now they're already sexually active, and she's being manipulated, and her mind. We talking about immature. It's a mind like, but they say your mind don't mature to make rational decisions until you're 16 years old, right? So now he's manipulated her mind. She believes that because listen, she has a secret. She knows it's wrong, but she's still doing it. So she's manipulating him just because we don't know if she really asked somebody and just didn't want to go with him and didn't touch.
That's
You
true.
feel what I'm saying? We talking about the
That's
mind
true.
of a 13-year-old.
That's true.
We talking about the thinking,
That's true.
right? We talking about
we were 13. That's
right,
true.
right. So then who else? Who? That's what I was saying in the chat. Like, who else to believe in except the person that's manipulating? How many times, even myself, in active addiction or even just wanting to get out of trouble, have I manipulated the situation to go in my favor?
Mm,
Or the belief or the listen, because that's what manipulation start with. I got to get you to believe what I'm manipulating you in.
mm.
Or I'm manipulating you too. That's why I gotta sell this lie to you. I gotta sell this vision to you so you'll understand. Like, listen, you trust in me. Trust in me. Believe in me. I'm the man from the job. And listen, in the back of my mind, I ain't gonna never do the job.
Mm, mm.
You understand what I'm saying, bro? He's definitely because a protector wouldn't inflict what he inflicted on her. Regardless or the history, the whole situation or whatever. Come on, we done been in situations like that as adults, and we seen. Listen, and I'm gonna be a man and say some attractive young women, some attractive teenagers. Come on, when I got grown to an age, I was like, well, what they feeding them? Because they wasn't feeding them that when we was growing up.
Oh man.
Because we could see the development of the woman that this child was becoming. But we was strong enough and man enough and well enough to say, no, that's a child. He we don't suffer from what he suffered from.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So of course she believed. We don't know if the lady gave her money for toiletries or whatever or pants or whatever, and she spent it. She said, "Well, I get it from Jarvis." Well, I can listen. The 13-year-old man, I can manipulate him into giving it to me.
Good point. Good point.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So of course, listen, the whole thing was a manipulation for her to believe in him and the mind and the control. Listen, because once he manipulated, he took control over her. That's why he was trying to intimidate her to come outside at 2:30 in the morning, bro. Come on, I pay attention and I listen. 2:30 in the morning, man. He want to listen. He want to be nasty. His sickness is kicked up. His compulsion and obsession is kicked in. And I got to get out the house.
That's
One more
fact.
point. Listen. One more point, and I'm gonna shut it down, because I'm still at work. But um, when you was talking about dang, what the point was? It was one more. Oh yeah, when he was in the manipulation thing, and how can the person in the house? So he knew what was going on in the house. Manipulation. Come on. We say what we got to do before we go on. We got a case to join. I got a case to join. I got to know what's going on in there. That's why he knew that he could go there at 2:00 in the morning. You know what I mean? But it was something else that you said, or that somebody said in the chat that I wanted to address, because it was like, I forgot what it was. It just slipped out my mind. But yo, if it'll come back to me. But yeah, I digress, bro. But yeah, I don't think protection wasn't. All that was manipulation from the beginning to the end. Because you talking about his sickness. So I digress. Thanks for letting me everybody. Thanks for letting me speak on that part, right?
Appreciate you, Pee Wee. Come back up if you need to. Appreciate that super sticker, Portia. Appreciate that super sticker, Portia. Uh, thanks for the shared Black and missing children. Thanks for the shared Black and missing children. Salute Vibrant. Salute Vibrant. Come on in, Mel.
Salute Shank, salute Miss Parker, and salute Pee Wee. I don't want to go as far as to say that he was her like overall protector, but my thoughts is that I don't think he unalived her, and I do think that the last day that she was seen, I believe that he protected her as long as he could that day from Auntie Monster. I think he knew the capabilities of Auntie Monster. And I think that with the way his mind worked, I think he may have at one point thought that some of the text messages he was exchanging was not between him and her, but between him and Auntie Monster. And that I think that's my feeling on that right now. I don't think that just overall, but I do think that January 9th, he was protecting her from Auntie Monster. Because me personally, I don't really think he unalived her. I just don't. And then we're looking at this other young lady who, they found her in 6 days? And how long Zanaya been missing? Over a year? And they haven't found anything? I don't know. It's a sticky situation, and I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about that situation, just based off, just the things that was going on. But I just feel like that day he was protecting her from something. I think eventually he took her home, though. But that's just my feelings.
And immediately after that, she sends, basement, please. Jarvis replies, okay. At 2:40, Jarvis replies, you in the basement yet? Immediately after that, Isaiah replies back, yeah. Now we are the next day being, it's now September 28th, 2:28 a.m. UTC. She sends Jarvis a message that says, are we doing it tonight? I'm ready, fresh out the shower. The next message is a reply from him to her. Well, this is September 30th now at 1:25 a.m. UTC, he replies, yo. September 30th, 2:59, she replies, you coming over? She then sends another message directly after that, don't have school. At 3:07, a reply is received to Naziah from Jarvis saying, yep. She then replies, Kay, we'll be waiting. At 3:17 a.m., he sends another message, or I'm sorry, she sends a message to Jarvis that says, text me when you get here. At 3:21 a.m., this is still September 30th date, Jarvis replies and sends a message to her saying outside. Now we have skipped to September 30th, but it is now on here at 23:13 hours UTC. She sends a message to Jarvis saying, hey boo, you coming over? The next message is now October 1st, 2022, 1:51 UTC. She sends a message to Jarvis asking, you coming?
Was Jarvis protecting Naziah that night from Shannon and Miss Annette? Because according to King, now, whether or not do we believe King, but according to King, Naziah was with him up until 8:45. Why didn't she go home? Allegedly, it was caught on camera that Naziah went into the hotel with Jarvis. I gotta say, allegedly, nobody seen Naziah come out of the hotel. So if nobody seen Naziah come out of the hotel, that they seen her go in, where's Naziah? Where's Naziah? Did Naziah go home? Did an altercation happen when she went home? That's what made her leave and go to Jarvis. Mel?
Shane, didn't Miss Annette say she used to take that girl phone that night?
I believe so.
And because he was booing up all around town and had this supposedly fiance or wife or whatever, and whoever else, he was spending more time there. And I'm just wondering if that was actually her texting him, or was it the auntie texting from her phone just to see if he would come for Naziah because he wasn't coming for her. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying.
I don't know.
Because let's zoom in on Miss Annette. Let's focus in on Annette. Right? What will make Miss Annette wait until the next morning? And the next morning, she didn't call 911 and report it. She reported it to, I believe, Naziah's school. But you mean to tell me Miss Annette, the grandma, waited all night long? Naziah did go home. She did go home. Something happened when she went home. She went to Jarvis now on that night We know Jarvis has been a monster up until that night. We know he's been a monster. But could he been just protecting her that night? Like I said, then Shannon pops up. So he was either hiding her, he was either protecting her, or either he had it all mapped out that he was going to take her life. So it's three things that's on the table. And I want us to focus in on the three things. Did Jarvis plan on taking her life that night? Was Jarvis protecting her? Or did as the judge said, did the back alley abort go wrong? Because we know Shannon was hot. Shannon, she despised Naziah. Let's do a back story. Allegedly, King was messing with Marquita and Shannon before Jarvis came on board. Allegedly. You hear things, and I don't want to go off of what I heard, and then people say, Shank said this. Shank, I'm just going by what's out there. And I'm sure many of y'all have heard the same thing that I heard. But allegedly, King was messing with the twins first. How many of y'all heard that? Drop a 4. Drop a 4 if you heard that King was messing with Shannon and Marquita first. Then Jarvis comes on the scene. Right? So it's not no competition. It is a competition with Shannon and Marquita, but it's really not a competition with Shannon and Marquita because allegedly Jarvis was messing with Marquita before he was messing with Shannon. So now if Jarvis was messing with Marquita before he was messing with Shannon, Shannon don't got no beef with Marquita. Because in Shannon's mind, she took Jarvis from Marquita. So she ain't got no beef with Marquita. But here come Naziah. Naziah was vulnerable. She young. Salute 504K. I see y'all in the chat. Salute Kenyatta. She young. She young. She don't know no better. She was looking for love. She was looking for protection. She was looking for a father figure. Her mother didn't want her. Her father didn't want her. Grandmother don't want her. Grandmother cusses at her. We all saw that. Grandmother cussed at the kids. Then right after cussing at the kids, the grandmother went into prayer. I ain't doing that. And I don't think none of y'all gonna do that. If we've been cussing, we ain't gonna just jump straight into prayer, especially with them babies. What if King gave them the low on Naziah? When I listen to those text messages, when I listen to them, and along with Mel, because Mel pointed it out to me, but I listened to the text messages. I don't know when, and I don't know how, but at one time, Jarvis was her protector. Salute Denethia, salute Denethia, salute Brent. Then it went from him being a protector to him being this monster. But was he the protector or was he the monster on that day that she disappeared? You gotta question Miss Annette and why she did not call the police immediately. Why didn't she report it? Why did she wait till the next night? She went to sleep. How do you go to sleep?
But so did the auntie. She went to sleep too.
Shannon went to sleep. Nobody dawned on to call Jarvis. Shannon didn't dawn on to call Jarvis. Shannon did call Jarvis. Because see, at first, Naziah was missing. She was missing because something happened in that house. Something happened when she went in that house. Shannon called up to that shop and found out that Naziah was up at that shop. Don't think that she ain't call up that shop. Why wouldn't she call up the shop? If Naziah is missing, whether there was an altercation with Miss Annette and Shannon, no matter how you look at it, Shannon knows the relationship between Jarvis and Naziah. So if she was calling to find out on a good purpose because she was missing and they was worried, she gonna call up that shop. Or if she was finding out, I bet that little heifer went up to that shop. One way or another, Shannon called up that shop. We can believe that. Salute Doug, salute Miss Callie. So now we got to reevaluate it. We got to reevaluate it. Nah, we ain't giving Jarvis, we ain't gonna give him the credit of being something other than a monster. But on that night, could he been a protector? Could he just been trying to protect her? Because he want to say something. You could just look at him and tell he wants to say something. He wants to tell something. And when you listen to his attorney knows something. The attorney definitely knows something. Now, Miss Parker spoke about this, and my memory, I guess Miss Parker I have to come back up, but Miss Parker talked about them. It was one of them. Miss Parker, come up on the panel because I want to make sure I get this right. But the same thing that Miss Parker spoke about as far as them charging, because I think, I don't know if it was the judge, somebody in the case mentioned about others will be charged. Now, when you listen to the lead detective, Jarvis was locked up, right? The lead detective talks about they had somebody under surveillance. Did any of y'all catch that? This lead detective right here spoke on, and I've been trying to find that, but it's like 8 to 10 hours of her testimony. But if Jarvis is locked up, right? Who were they surveilling? Who was the surveillance on? Do y'all feel me? This is what the lead investigator said, that they had him under surveillance. Okay, the prosecutor, Kim Worthy, the prosecutor said that. They waiting for trial. Jarvis going to spill milk on their ass. But even the lead detective, this woman right here, she spoke on them having others under surveillance. Jarvis locked up. Jarvis was locked up. Let me see if I could catch it.
And are there any other messages to
struggling with complicated
Don't want that. Hold tight, y'all. Hold tight.
content and editing software? I was too. Riverside really simplified things. Riverside
Jarvis? After that, is your butt stuck?
No.
Okay. And now, do those indicate whether or not they were deleted?
Yes.
Okay. And
now let me just come right to what I was saying about Jarvis. All right. Where you at? Black and Missing Children says he already been talking in jail. Someone knows what is really going on. And that's the point right there. Because best believe Jarvis done spilt the beans. Right, Brent. He don't want to go down by himself. Denithia says he might be the fall guy. Exactly. Lady V says, well, it was obvious to me the judge didn't buy Annette and Shannon's story. Not at all. Not at all. So they got a surveillance going on others, but Jarvis is locked up. So they watching somebody. Natalie says, I think both. Slide in, Mel. Slide in, Mel.
Oh, wow, that's new to me. I didn't know they had somebody that's under surveillance, but
Yes, yes.
that's interesting. But I want to say this. Yeah, Jarvis Butts is a monster. He's a grown man, but he has just as many adult relationships. But at the end of the day, his sickness is the kids, and that's just based off of, his experience. But I really am interested to know, and hopefully they revisit that questioning of his sister and why, when the defense was questioning her about her grandmother raising her and Jarvis, it's a lot of grandmamas raising their kids in Detroit, golly. And she mentioned, she said, I know your grandmother passed away, but there were some circumstances around your grandmother's passing. Now, I was led to believe maybe something happened dramatic and the grandma had a heart attack. But when she asked the sister that, the sister became very combative. So, as children, as these kids are growing up in these homes with these grandmothers at such young ages, they're experiencing, SAs, and that's Jarvis Butt's sickness because it happened to him. And it's like spreading a cold. If you don't, that's why I always say that mental health counseling for especially children that are SA should be mandatory. And that care should be provided by the state. I feel that way. And his sickness was his attraction or his addiction to children. It was just based off his experiences, but he still had equally as many relationships with women, I don't know, guess to get close to their kids or what, for whatever reason, I don't know. Or maybe because he experienced his essay so young in life, he was just that promiscuous, as well as a female that goes through that at a young age. They are very promiscuous. But as a monster of that, yes, he's guilty. But I still just have a strong feeling about um, him unaliving her. And on top of that, I feel like he's made the fall guy, because either way, he know he gonna go back to prison because of what he was doing, But I just don't think that he's gonna sit back and take an M. I just don't think he's gonna do that.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
My bad, Mocha. Make sure y'all subscribe to Mocha. Mocha Unfiltered. Make sure everybody subscribe to Mocha Unfiltered. She's a content creator as well that's covering this case as well. So make sure everybody goes and subscribes to Mocha Unfiltered. My bad, Mocha. And if anyone, because we're not going to be that much longer, so if it's anyone that has been sexually assaulted and would like to join me on the panel to tell their story, feel free to click the link.
How many of those were deleted? Or how many of them were not deleted? That's a better question.
Looks like all of them were deleted except for the one where she was, the very beginning, she had actually texted somebody else, which I believe might have been Shannon's phone at the time, saying, "Baldhead Janiyah, come here." But all the messages between the 8719, which is Jarvis's number, are marked on here as deleted except, let's see. On September 30th, the "Hey Boo, you coming over?" And the "You coming" text, those ones were not deleted and still show on here.
Okay, so those last two.
Yes.
Okay.
Who is that? Who is that? Because I see that the camera zoomed. Is that Marquita? Who's the lady in the white shirt? Is that Marquita? Do anybody know who this lady is in the white shirt? If so, drop it in the chat or drop it on the replay.
Now, going through people's Exhibit 16 messages as it relates to the 231-743-3137. I'm sorry, before that, without telling us Messiah's actual birthday, in September 24th, 2022, what age had Messiah just turned?
In 22,
Yes.
she would have just turned 12.
Now, do you have a set of these the messages from the 231 number?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to go through those. And there are sections that are highlighted, and I want to follow along. What is the first message that is sent?
It is sent on March 4th, 2023 at 23:35 UTC. It's sent to Jarvis's 8719 number, and it says, "It's me, Naziah."
Okay, and just for clarification purposes, all the messages within this exhibit are sent to Jarvis's 8719 number.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to jump to March 16th of 2023. There's a highlighted message there. Can you read that one?
Yes.
Are you missing out on this health benefit that
Goddamn commercials.
might be zero cost to you? Find out if you're eligible.
So just before that, the UTC time on here, just so I'm not having the math throughout, from March 10th to November 3rd, it would be -4 hours. So any date that falls within those days would be -4. Any dates outside of those ranges would be -5 hours.
You said that's
But I'm gonna read it off of here with the time is stamped and date,
okay. You said that's March 10th through November.
3rd,
Okay, that's -4 UTC.
-4, yes.
Okay. So continue with that.
Yep, so March 16th, 2023 at 0006 hours, she receives a message from Jarvis that says, "Stop messing with people and just be mine."
And was that deleted?
No,
So Jarvis tells us, stop messing with people and just be mine. Can I get everybody to give Alicia a warm welcome? Can I get everybody to give Alicia a warm welcome? Salute, Shelly. Salute, Shelly. What Roxy found them, planet you think Roxy so say found them and called the police, but whatever she found was not used as evidence. Make sure everybody give Alicia a warm welcome.
Now, moving on to May 3rd, 2023. There's a set of highlighted messages. Can you read those?
yeah, so these messages are May 3rd, 2023, starting at 15:06. Jarvis sends a message that says, "I'm coming to get you." Immediately after, Naziah replies, "What you mean?" Jarvis then replies to her, "You heard me." Immediately after that, Naziah replies to Jarvis, "You can't do that." Then sends another message immediately after, which is now still 15:07 hours, that says, "I'm finna go to lunch, love you."
And were any of those messages deleted?
No.
Now, moving to May 30th of 2023.
May 30th, 2023 at 13:01 hours, she sends a message to Jarvis that says, "I miss you." At 13:02 hours, he replies back the letters "I am you" and then the number 2.
And were either of those deleted?
No.
And what about starting with May 31st of 2023?
May 31st, 2023, this is at 13:37 hours. He sends her a message that says, "I can't stop thinking about you either." The next message then goes and starts is now June 5th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Well, 11:59 UTC. She sends a message to Jarvis hey, you may think I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. My phone broke. At 12 o'clock, another message is sent. So I will text you off this number. At 12:01, same date, she sends him a message. Are you mad at me? At 12:01, he replies back to her, yes. At 12:02, she replies back the letter Y. At 12:03, she sends, please don't be mad. At 12:04, she sends, can you tell me why you mad at me, yes or no? At 12:05, he replies to her saying, I haven't seen or talked to you.
Okay, now first, were any of those deleted?
No.
Now I'm gonna stop it right here. Salute, John. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute, appreciate that, John. Can I get everybody to give John a warm welcome? Now, Mel, any last words? Let me get you to give your last words. Any last words, Mel, before we get out of here?
Not many much last words. I guess this continues. I think the case is going to be interesting. But I think this line of questioning from that attorney, I think she feels as well that all of those text messages to Jarvis didn't come from Nazir. Because if you listen to Nazir's text messages that she sends to him, it's like a schoolgirl. She always say yes or no. You know how you used to write the little box, do you like me? Yes. Check yes or no. Most of her text messages are followed by a yes or no. And then when you listen to the other messages, they're a little bit adult. Like, I can't imagine a 13 or a 12-year-old saying those things.
Right.
So I think with this attorney's line of questioning, she doesn't think that all of those text messages came from Naziah, especially the ones that are 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
We're on to something. Mocha says, that's Shannon. Those were not messages between him and Naziah. Finish up.
Somebody else feels that way too.
That's Mocha. Yep. That's Shannon.
Because at the end of the day, I don't think that he was giving like all of his extra time to Naziah. He had too much other stuff going on. And that's the way I feel. I just don't think all those messages came from him, from Naziah. I think that's the auntie.
That's Shannon.
If she couldn't even buy sanitary items, how could she break her phone and then come up with a new one? But I can remember in Shannon's testimony, she was saying that she wouldn't always text him from the same number if her phone was off or her phone was broke. I'm just saying, that's my last word.
Appreciate you, Mel. Excellent.
All right.
Salute, Pebbles. I need some time because we're on to something. I need some time to go back and backtrack all of the lead investigator's testimony. And it's a lot, y'all. It's like, I think about 8 hours. It's a lot. So Ms. Parker is getting ready to go live in 15 more minutes. Make sure everybody pulls up over there with Ms. Parker. Yeah, I gotta backtrack her, y'all. And we all should backtrack her as well. Let us all backtrack the lead investigator because I'm gonna need some help. Salute everybody. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I will let the chat run. I'll leave the chat up. Appreciate you, Alicia, and y'all can hang around. But yeah, this lead investigator has been dropping some jewels, y'all. Salute everybody. I'll see y'all over there with Miss Parker. Salute.
Now I want to actually go to one that I did not highlight. 12:08, June 5th, 12:08 and 28 UTC through June 5th, 12:08 and 49 UTC. Can you read those?
Those three?
Yes.
Okay, so June 5th, 2023, 12:08, 28 seconds. He sends her a message with the letters WYA at 12:08, 35 seconds. She replies, school. 12:08, 49. He sends her a message that says, I'm at your house.
And now, I want to go, actually, can you keep reading through June 5th at 12:09? Oh. 12:09 and 4 seconds.
So the next.
Step into a world where laundry becomes an elevated experience. Redefine laundry day with laundry sauce,